and to the nation of Israel, who modern day so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, respectable Israelites, being Israelite foreigners, scattered across the four corners of the earth, including to America, Babylon the Great, the main place of our captivity, and we are the Most High Yahweh chosen people of the nation of Israel. So without further ado, as always, in Allah Sharon Kodash, as of the Holy Tongue, being a Paleo Hebrew, as an ancient Hebrew, I'm going to give all praises, glory, infinite honor to my power, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whom is God of living, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Baruch Chodash, which is our praise to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, and the Holy Spirit, whom was our strength and our Redeemer, and our light and our salvation. In the same tongue, Mashana, Kabwadium, Lahasaquanium, Shal, Gadawarbakab, meaning double honors to the apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone, and Shalom, honors and salutations to Bayashid Abudah, the 144,000 elect governing body of the house of David, along with the rest of the one-third elect men, women, and children of Israel. It's your fellow servant Malak Rayab, back at it again with another video through the spirit of prophecy, being a testimony of our Lord and Savior, Hamashiach Yahushai, who the masters of the world eagerly refer to Jesus Christ. And it's just a quick update, on this recent live discussion between DJT and Zelensky. There's a puppet president, the wicked central bankers, set up in Ukraine, and report that DJT kicked Zelensky in the all black out of the White House during their Ukraine ceasefire talks. Where Trump's position on Ukrainian ceasefire is that he's pro ceasefire, whereas Zelensky is anti ceasefire because he claims that Vladimir Putin, has allegedly broken, many political agreements and so forth on behalf, according to Zelensky. All right, so this is this further confirms this the matter of fact, let me just go ahead and get to the report. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna see if I can leave the link of this article in the live chat. If not, I'll go ahead and manage to leave it in the comment section in the description box of the video post-production. All right, but I'm gonna go ahead and segue over to this article, which I'm prefacing this video off of on Gateway Pundit, entitled "Zelensky refuses to apologize for disrespecting Trump." And he said, "I'm not sure we did something bad." So it says, Ukrainian President Zelensky went on Fox News with Trump basher Brett Baier on Friday evening after disrespecting President Trump and the American people openly in the White House in a historic meeting earlier today, and he refused to apologize. Says the Gateway Pundit reported on the fireworks that erupted in the Oval Office on Friday, leading to Zelensky being kicked out of the White House. So this is a further omen of two things. One, the division of Esau Edom, albeit that live argument could have been staged. But even if it was, political optics, it's still of division, because, Esau has, his another diversion tactic he uses, another war tactic to psychologically confuse the masses, and mainly in America, Babylon the Great, through such tactics such as, controlled opposition. All right, where they have, like, for example, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, having a live argument, such as they had during their presidential debate, 9 years ago. But yet you see him, some meeting, keying it up, man, laughing it up as if they're not many enemies, because they're really not enemies, because Democrats, the patricians and the plebeians, which is I believe it's the Democrats and Republicans, all right. The patricians and the plebeians were the Roman equivalent to the Democrats and Republicans, and those are two sides of the coin that that have always watched each other's back, because they all have a mutual boss, which is the central bankers. So having those been said, Zelensky is another puppet president set up by the wicked elite, and so is Trump. All right, so whether this argument was a staged or not, it still is symbolic of a great division within the Edomite hegemony. Another thing is, Another thing is corruption is being further exposed because Trump is using Zelensky to be thrown under the bus to further, promote his vision of his campaign of replacing the income of the U.S. taxpaying income or the income tax of U.S. taxpaying dollars with tariffs, okay, which are taxes on imported goods into America. And this is why another major component of or purpose of Zelensky being at that meeting with Trump today was for Zelensky to agree to that mineral deal. All right, by way of Trump's perception, of Ukraine compensating for the millions of I got to say like Trump, millions and millions of dollars worth of tax-paying dollars that has been allocated from our tax-paying dollars, to fund that Ukraine proxy war. All right. So this having always been said, Esau is being further exposed, man. All right. So what I'm going to do and play a couple of quick videos. I'm not going to play the entire thing for the sake of time, but I'm going to go ahead and play a couple of minutes of this video. Here you can see Trump throwing up the Vesica Pisces, a Freemasonic hand gesture. Once further confirming he's a puppet insider / Freemason. You have his vice president, J.D. Vance, sitting next to him, who, started this argument. He was the one. J.D. Vance is really the one that spearheaded this argument with Zelensky. But the main video I'm gonna focus on is a video by Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and what he had to say about this whole Ukraine proxy war. Further exposing who was another insider. All right, further exposing the corruption of this beast system. But I'm gonna play a couple of minutes of this. I'm gonna play probably about a minute of it, and filter everything to biblical prophecy, and then Lord willing is be further edifying for the elect. All right.
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
yes, but if you are
Mr.
not
President,
strong,
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Yeah, he's not lying about that. You take the bones of the meat with Esau. There's some merit behind that statement because Ukrainian soldiers have been slaughtered. That's why NATO has been involved down there, and that further confirms that the Ukraine proxy war is just a front. It's a proxy war because it is a proxy war, okay, of a conflict or war between the U.S. and Russia, okay.
Ukraine, that you say what problems we have.
I have been to
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military?
We have problems.
And do you think that it's respectful
I will answer.
to come to the Oval Office of the United
answer.
States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless. God bless.
And see Trump got triggered off of that because that statement that Zelensky made about America eventually feeling the pain in the face of a war, triggered him because that opposes his vision of him being perceived to be a hero, by being a peacemaker between these nations, and that's not biblical because it says in Isaiah 48:22 there should be no peace to the wicked. So that's why one of them journalists asked Trump, what would you more so want your legacy? What would you more so want to be remembered by way of your legacy? In so many words, and he said, "Well, I would love to be known as a peacemaker." But it's the way that he answered it. He answered it like he knew, like he answered it in a way that would suggest that he knows it's not going to happen because he knows it's not going to happen because he has been given a script by the wicked elite to cause chaos through organized chaos. All right. And a further example of that is these trade wars with the U.S.'s neighboring countries, being specifically Canada. All right. By looking at, slap tariffs, which are taxes on these goods that we import from the likes of Canada and so forth. So it's like shooting yourself in the foot. All right. Part of that death by 1,000 cuts tactic. All right. And then he said, and then on top of that, where was these peace talks when when he attacked Syria with these white phosphorus bombs back in 2017. So he just another puppet, and so is Zelensky. All right, but anyway, I'm gonna continue a little bit more of this.
You will not have war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering
position
your
to
questions.
dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly
this.
what
I'm not
You're in
dictating.
no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very
you will
good.
Feel influenced.
We're going to feel
I'm
very good and
telling
very
you,
strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about
From
it.
the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having
I'm not
cards.
playing cards.
Right now, you don't.
I'm very
You're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're gambling
I'm the
with the
president
lives
in
of
war.
millions of people.
You think-
You're gambling with World War III.
What are you
You're
thinking
gambling
about?
with
What are you
World
thinking
War
about?
III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country.
I'm
That's
with
back
all
to
respect to
you.
you.
Far more than a lot of people said
I'm very
they should
respect.
have.
Have you said thank you once?
A lot of times.
No, in this
Even
entire
to-
meeting.
Yeah, Esau's finished, man. So there could have been some, there's some theatrics there, because Trump was playing off of J.D. Vance's energy. That demon jumped on his ass, and then Trump proceeded to play into the theatrics, for the sake of the camera, between the media outlets. So I'm going and I'm gonna start off with his first precept in Isaiah 19:2. All right, this is Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 2, and it reads, "For the Lord Yahweh by Shemeshai," I don't know what happened. Slakia, that's not it. Some kind of glitch with the app. Let me go and reload it. I don't know what the hell happened, man. Yeah, there's some witchcraft going on. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get it in the blue letter. It's Isaiah chapter 19, verse 2. It says, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom." All right, Egyptian. All right, it means bondman. Okay, as in a slave master. Who's the mutual slave master of the two kingdoms of Israel, southern and northern? All right, Esau, Edom, the Edomites, the self-proclaimed Caucasian race, has been ruling over us since the time of the Greeks, on and off, from then up into the Renaissance period. All right, because between the pagan Greco-Roman Empire and the Renaissance period, there was a lapse of 1,000 years where we were ruling over these devils. All right, around 1,000 years. All right, starting with the Moorish Empire in the 8th century up into the Byzantine Empire. All right, we're so-called melanated men, dark-skinned so-called Negroes of the southern kingdom of Israel, were ruling over you devils. And until your reemergence during the 14th century, all right, during the Renaissance period, then you took slaves of the very empire that I mentioned, of Jake, of the southern kingdom, and you've been ruling over us ever since then. All right, so you are the main Egyptian or bondman, okay, that has been set up or casted out against other bondmen, as in other Edomites, okay, as it says here. And I will set the Egyptians against Egyptians, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city and kingdom against kingdom. All right, so Ukraine, all right, Zelensky is an Edomite of a different Egyptian empire, is in a different empire of bondage, because Egypt, the prefix of Egyptian is Egypt, which Egypt means bondage, your house of bondage. All right, so Ukraine is another Edomite empire of another of the other Egyptians, as the other bondmen, right? Another Edomite ruling class, okay, set up by the wicked central bankers. All right, and so what happened, that little spat or little conflict between Trump and Zelensky was a further example of this prophecy, coming to pass. All right, and that great division between these Egyptians, these bondmen, okay, the bondmen of Israel. So this is Obadiah, start of verse 6, and it says, "How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. there is none understanding in them. So the ones that were once confederate with you, all right, is your mutual allies, are now conspiring to destroy you, all right, because the covetousness and lasciviousness and greed of you damn Edomites, man. All right, a perfect example of that is the whole secular history of the Cold War, all right. That ended around the early to mid 90s, but prior to that, going back to around World War II, Russia and the U.S. were allies, part of the Allied powers, all right, fighting against the Axis powers, which was fascist Germany, Italy, and Japan, all right. So who ended or who compromised that relationship between the U.S. and Russia, despite the fact they once fought in World War II? It was the U.S. for reneging on a treaty or a truce of not expanding eastward into Russian territory. So when Putin of Russia had that talk with Biden back in 2020, 2021 about the U.S. Not expanding further eastward into Russia, they ended up doing that by involving themselves in this Ukraine proxy war. And this is the whole purpose of, our taxpaying dollars being allocated to Ukraine, that and money laundering purposes. All right. So this is why you devils are being exposed. And speaking of which, we're going to play this last video. All right. Play this last video here. All right. Now I'm going to start around the 1 minute mark. It says, this individual said, understanding why the war happened is important. It's bigger than Ukraine. It's bigger than Russia. It's bigger than the United States. It's bigger than Trump, Putin, and Zelensky. BlackRock is behind it. And really, the wicked central bankers are further behind it. BlackRock is not the end all be all. And Kennedy's going to explain, the significance of BlackRock. But it says BlackRock is behind it. Nothing will ever change as long as private companies are allowed to buy their way across international sovereign borders via profitable warmongering. All right, so I'm going to play this clip.
Just to give you an example, we could have built a home for all the expenses that are going to come after the war. When we have to rebuild all the things that we destroyed. Mitch McConnell was asked, can we really afford to spend $113 billion to Ukraine? He said, don't worry. It's not really going to Ukraine.
It's going to American defense manufacturers.
So he just admitted it's a money laundering scheme. And who do you think owns every one of those companies? BlackRock. So Tim Scott, during the Republican debate, said, don't worry, it's not a gift to Ukraine, it's a loan. So raise your hand if you think that loan's ever getting paid back. Yeah, of course it's not. So why do they call it a loan? Because if they call it a loan, they can impose loan conditions. And what are the loan conditions that we impose on? Number one, an extreme austerity program, so that if you're poor in Ukraine, you're going to be poor forever. Number two, most important, Ukraine has to put all of its government-owned assets up for sale to multinational corporations, including all of its agricultural land, the biggest single asset in Europe. In Ukraine, there's been 1,000 years of war fought over that land. It's the richest farmland in the world. It's the breadbasket of Europe. 500,000 kids almost.
As you said, that information has been it has been open to the public for years now, since this Ukraine proxy war even started, going back to 2022, is that Ukraine is a breadbasket area of the world, specifically of Europe. All right. And that's another reason why the wicked elite, Zionists of this Edomite hegemony are have their sights set on Ukraine. OK, because they want the precious minerals and so forth. And that's another reason why Trump was angry at Zelensky for the not agreeing to the ceasefire with Russia, because that could also lead into that mineral deal, from on behalf of U.S. with Ukraine to be compromised. And that's exactly what happened, because Zelensky did not sign that deal. Okay, all right, at least as of yet. All right, so so that just further further exposes the true nature of the self-proclaimed white man. Okay, so I'm going to continue.
Ukrainians have war to Ukraine. They almost certainly didn't know about this loan condition. They've already sold 30% of it. The buyers were DuPont, Cargill, and Monsanto. Who do you think owns all of those companies? Yeah, BlackRock. And then in December, President Biden gave out the contract to rebuild Ukraine. And who do you think got that contract? BlackRock. So they're doing this right in front of us. They don't even care that we know anymore, because they know that they can get away with it. And how do they know that? Because they have a strategy. And that strategy is an old strategy, which is they keep us at war with each other. They keep us hating on each other. They keep the Republicans and Democrats fighting each other, black against white, and all these divisions that they sow.
Yep, there's all bankers wars. All right, all wars are bankers wars, and that's why the Taliban was seen with U.S. weapons back in 2021, and then when they got caught, they claimed that they stole them. Nah, nigga, you got those weapons from Esau Edom, man. But so this is Sirach 14. All right. Salakia. Sirach 14. And I'm gonna start from the top. All right. Sirach 14:1. And it says, "Blessed is a man that hath not slipped with his mouth, and is not pricked with the multitude of sins." Okay. All right. So why is a man not blessed when he slips with his mouth? Because they say the tongue of the mouth is a tool, all right, that articulates the thoughts of the mind, all right. So, and being that Esau is proud, and when he gets to talking, a lot of those intricate, dark, or wicked secrets of his satanic NWO can spill out, whether it's of controlled opposition or not. And this is why what RFK was doing, what Trump has been doing, further exposing certain components of tyranny, corruption, is really a detriment to their beast system, because they have emotionally and mentally invested in this beast system. And this is why America, Babylon the Great, is the end all be all for these Edomites. All right. And mainly because it's prophesied to be that way. All right. So they're not going to come out and just outright say that. They're gonna play their cards, okay, by the cards they were dealt, proverbially speaking. And this is why Trump used that analogy of playing cards. You're not playing the cards right when he was speaking to Zelensky. All right, Zelensky that can actually be playing his cards right, according to the script that the wicked elite may have given him. But there was some merit behind that argument as well, because in terms of Trump being angry, because by Zelensky not signing that or not agreeing to a ceasefire, at least at this point, would not help, Trump's, aspirations of being, perceived to be a good guy, a peace, upholder of peace. All right. But between these nations, in a sense of war. All right. All right. So this is, anyway, this is Sirach 14:1. It says, "Blessed is a man that hath not slipped with his mouth, and is not pricked with the multitude of sins. Blessed is he whose conscience hath not condemned him, and who is not fallen from his hope in the Lord." Yahweh by Shem Yashai. Esau doesn't really have a conscience because he's ungodly. He's profane. Okay. It says in Habakkuk 2:4, his soul is not lifted upright in him. All right. Yet, in the back of his mind, he believes he could save face by shining light on certain wickedness that goes on behind closed doors, like RFK's speech, for example. But really, in all actuality, you're just further exposing the wicked nature of your nation. So this is another example of that is what George Bush Sr. Has said some years before he had died, which I quote him: "If the people knew what we had done, they would chase us down the street and lynch us." Meaning what? If the Americans, the U.S. taxpayers that he's referring to, these modern day Babylonians, understood that they were being defrauded and taken advantage of. All right, through Esau's corruption and tyranny of his petrodollar, his the entity known as IRS, defrauding people, okay, through through modern day Roman tributaries, through these mandatory taxes, all right, and so forth, all right, and and all the overall corruption in America, Babylon the Great, benefiting, these lobbyists and weapons defense contractors and various entities behind closed doors that benefits off of the money that is allocated from our taxpaying dollars and such. Was made aware to the public in the U.S. and there would be sedition. The second Ezra 15 and 16 would pop off a lot sooner than later. But these people Esau understands the power of psychology and why it's important to keep people asleep through these distractions, through the bread and circus events, reality television, all right, stupid demonic rap music, okay, there's, mainly this mumble rap shit, all right, and so forth, all right. Now, when you actually look this up, there's a lot of disclaimers of this comment of whether or not Bush Sr. made it, which is a red flag in itself, because it's the fact that on a good number of these platforms that has fact check associated with it is a red flag for the fact that anything that Esau deems to be a fact check or worthy enough to be fact checked, regarding a disclaimer, a notice or a phrase of a disclaimer, if you will, such as on YouTube and so forth, is a red flag in itself. That's like reverse psychology. All right. Where it would, if he, in other words, if he's saying that something is potentially false or false is more often than not than it's not, that it is not. All right. Having all this been said, especially in association with this quote that I just quoted here on the screen. So going back to Sirach 14:2, it says, "Blessed is he whose conscience hath not condemned him, and who is not fallen from his hope in the Lord." All right, Yahweh Shemeshai. Esau doesn't have hope in the Lord, Yahweh Shemeshai, because he and these other heathen nations were not given, they were not sanctified, all right, to be the Lord's chosen people, all right, to be consecrated and holy as the Lord's chosen through that pledge or blood oath, being the first holy covenant, all right, to be married to the Lord Yahweh Shemeshai, all right. So this is Sirach 14:3, and this is why their hope is in wickedness. This is why, like RFK Jr. said, they're just now is at the point to where they're just being more blatant with their agenda because they know that they have but a short time to look to achieve this satanic NWO. All right. Now they know they're running out of time, but way to measure time through prophecy. OK, that's a damn shame that Esau understands that if you have a certain Israelite, a T-shirt wearing Israelite leader, OK, that seems to not understand the true measure of time, by way of his botched breakdown of Hosea 6:2. All right. But I digress. This is Sirach 14:3. It says, "Riches are not comely for a niggard." A niggard is a stingy, covetous person. All right. And Esau is the epitome of that. It says, "Riches are not comely for a niggard. And what should an envious man do with money?" All right. And there's a precept that's on the comment board. All right. And Shalom. All right. To the brother Aziala putting that precept up. All right. Yahweh Shemeshah Barakatah. All right. The brother put up Jeremiah 49:7. All right. And it says, "Concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh by Shemeshai of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman?" All right. Teman is a reference to the Germans. All right. They were the ones who spearheaded that whole Manhattan Project, where they developed the atomic BOMB weapon, the atomic bomb during the World War II. All right. So so that's who that's referencing. It says, "Is counsel perish from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished?" Yes, it is. Why? Because the Lord Yahweh Shemeshai is tearing down the strongholds and stumbling blocks of these Edomites. So this is Sirach 14:4. It says, "He that gathereth by defrauding his own soul, gathereth for others, that shall spend his goods riotously." Okay. So what does riotously mean? All right. We'll get the definition of that momentarily. All right. All right. So it means a very controlled, in a very controlled manner, essentially, is what riotously means. A very uncontrolled, in a very uncontrolled manner. Meaning what? These nations are not going to have any temperance or self-control when they look when they look to make Esau booty. All right, in the midst of this last world's war, for all the wickedness this devil has done against them. All right, including waging geoeconomical war and full-fledged war on them. So this is Sirach 14:5. It says, "He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his good." So Esau, Edom, the subclass white man, is evil to himself and his own nation. Okay. So what's a further example of that? This madness that just took place. Okay, between these two characters. All right, DJ T and Zelensky going at each other's necks. Willing to throw each other under the bus over a difference of sovereignty. All right. There's not a man those are not characteristics of an honorable man, because Esau is a very dishonorable man. Let's go to get a quick precept on that. Sirach 13 and 22. Salakia. Sirach 33 and 22. Okay. I'm going to bring that out real quick. And it says, in all thy works, keep to thyself the preeminence. Leave not a stain in thine honor. All right. And Esau put a stain on his honor as soon as he did what he did during the Spanish Inquisition, man. Damn near destroyed the entire northern kingdom. Okay, through all the butchering the senseless butchering he did, man, for covetous and lascivious, greedy purposes, man, over America's precious resources of its gold, its oil, precious natural minerals. Okay. Including the likes of which is down there in Haiti. Another reason why these devils are angry at the Haitians of the tribe of Levi to this day, because the Haitians of the tribe of Levi led the first successful slave rebellion against Esau in the 18th century under Toussaint. All right. Anyway, this is back in Sirach 14. And let's continue on in verse 6. There is none worse than he that envieth himself, and this is a recompense of his wickedness. All right, and that recompense party is you devils being casted down from your glory, losing your rulership. All right, before you get externally destroyed, that is to your beast system, you will be internally destroyed, as in exposed, and all your strongholds and stumbling blocks being torn down. All your intricate, facets of your rulership, all right, that gives you your strength. Okay, will be hunger bitten, as is prophesied in the book of Job. So this is Sirach 14 and 7. It says, "And if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly. And at the last he will declare his wickedness." Sorry, so Trump, case in point, is not really looking to throw Zelensky under the bus, for the sake of the American people. He didn't give a shit about the American people. The majority of them are stupid. All right, they're gullible. All right, they're very impressionable. Okay, very naive. And this is why Amalek, all right, refers to us as Goyim. Okay, especially the very man of people I just described. So he's not looking to present this campaign vision of replacing the income tax, with the tariff taxes on the imports we get from these countries, because he's interested in our well-being. He's doing it for a greater cause. Okay, for the grand scheme of the satanic NWO. See, and this is part of his wickedness being further declared through the true intentions of Esau's movements out here. Okay, especially in the political sense, as it speaks about in Daniel 8 and 25. Politics is a witchcraft. All right, so I'm going to segue over to Sirach 39. And 26. All right. And it reads, "The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, which is yayin, wine, and oil and clothing." All right. It says in verse 27, "All these things are for good to the godly, so to the sinners they are turned to evil." See, because the devil has corrupted every damn thing. Okay. It's including our necessities and weaponizing them against us. Okay, which is what Trump is further doing with the trade war. Okay, which is unnecessary, because The American debt is well over $36 trillion in debt, and it's eventually going to pop. It's not. There's no preventing that. It's inevitable because it was done by design. Okay. So about and this is why the federal budget accounts for the majority of the federal budget accounts for about 52% of the military budget. It accounts for the federal budget more so accounts for at least 52% of the federal budget through military spending, from our tax-paying dollars being allocated towards military spending. And that's why when as soon as Trump got elected, I remember there was a article I seen on Newsbreak back in 2017 where he prioritized the military budget. Okay, same thing as Biden was doing. So he's a hypocrite, man, for coming at Biden. He's doing this because really, once again, the Democrats and Republicans are two sides of the same coin, man. All right, and they're all doing the bidding of this devil. All right, Amalek. All right, at the expense of many lives of America, these modern day Babylonians, because many people will lose their lives behind this satanic agenda. It may not seem like it now, but hey, these egg prices and beef prices and such are going to continue to skyrocket. And then this devil's going to eventually shut down the border. Okay. Cybernetics is going to take place where the power grid is attacked. If they showed them that 0-day predictive programming on Netflix, and then people just going to be through out here, man. And these wicked ass, faithless people going to be getting how they live. We're going to war over resources. So this is what this is going to eventually come to within the path of the MOTB, the mark of the beast, being the microchip, man. Okay. So I'm going to end this off in the book of Psalm 10. I'm going to start at verse 15. And it reads, "His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, Verse 15 says, break thou the arm of the wicked and the evil man. Seek out his wickedness till thou find none." All right. Esau, Edom is that evil man. Okay. The wicked and evil man whose arm is being broken, as in his source of strength through his carnality, through his blessing, his sword, which is what his military, industrial complex and intelligence agencies further represents, and his witchcraft. It speaks about in Nahum, the 3rd chapter. All right. Through his politics, his Western media outlets, which 96% of which is owned by the wicked central bankers. All right. The music, the satanic Hollywood. All right. Satanic Hollywood, including the music industry and so forth. It says Psalm 10 and 16. "The Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yeshai is king forever and ever. The heathen are perished out of his land." All right. You Amalekites. All right. You condom hat, Shirley Temple curl wearing devils over there in our land will be cast out of that land. Cause that pursuing of Revelation, the 20th chapter, that war will come to that land just like America and cleanse that land of its filth, including that annual Tel Aviv sodomite parade over there. Okay. So it says in verse 17, "O Lord, Yahweh, B'Shem Yashai, thou hast heard the desire of the humble. Thou wilt prepare their heart. Thou wilt cause thine ear to hear." All right. It says in Psalm the 94th chapter, "How long, O Lord?" Okay. How long you allow, so many words. How long you allow this devil to rule over us, even though we deserve it? Pursuing Micah 7 and 9, in Daniel chapter 9, verse 11 and 12, going into how, the nation of Israel deserves the misery that we have to endure right now. However, the indications of us having to endure, this misery is coming to an end by way of these end time prophecies coming to pass, and including the days speeding up, as is prophesied in St. Matthew the 24th chapter. And Esau understands all of which I just mentioned. This is why he's moving so frantically, and so urgently to hurry up and achieve this satanic NWO. However, he's still moving on the pace of Yahweh B'Shem Yeshai. Okay, because man's goings are the Lord, and eventually Esau's path is going to be led by the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yeshai, is going to lead him into death and destruction. All right, and through the path of the chip, the mark of the beast being implemented to be mandatory. Okay, World War III occurring right after that, and then this devil being shackled up, pursuing the Psalm, the 149th chapter, regarding you Dukes of Edom being rounded up under your underground bunkers Your old, leprous, decrepit asses being rounded up as the first fruits of slavery and being casted and being apprehended as the first fruits of slavery, man. Okay, by Yahweh Shad Allahayim and by Yashad Awadah. All right, so that's the conclusion of this story, all right, which is prophecy. And we're looking forward to it, man. We're looking forward to no more Edomites existing on the earth. For you devils destroying the earth. It says in Revelation 11 and 18. So I'm going to end it off on that note. We'll pray this epistle is further edifying, exhorting to elect, and give all praises, glory, infinite honor to my power, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whom was the God of a living, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Baruch Kodash, which is our praise to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten Son, Yahushai, and the Holy Spirit, whom is our strength and our Redeemer, our light and our salvation. In the same tongue, I'm gonna go ahead and say Abba Ball soon, very soon. Wa Shalom, Labachayim, Shah Baya Shadawadah. All right. All right. Shalom, Labachayim, Shah Baya Shadawadah, Shah Yasharal. Meaning peace to the elect of the house of David, of the nation of Israel. Let me see if I can share this link. Let me see. No, I don't think. Let me see. Actually, I think I figured it out. Yep. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and share this link now. All right. Anyone who may be led to watch it. All right. And with that, all right. Shalom and on to the next one.